Yeah, looks like the thumbs up have worked. We have summoned the game, so we are going to toss it over right now to Metroid Prime, run by Venmi.
Yeah. What am I doing? That's 90%. Do Wave Sun if you want.
No.
100%. It's 100%. You can do Wave Sun. Sure.
What? No.
Oh, hey, we're live.
Yes, we are.
We're live? Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I can hear myself.
What do you mean? Nothing bad's happened yet. We're fine.
Oh, no.
Figure it out.
All of a sudden, I'm really nervous.
You're not even running. I'm well, I mean, I'm nervous too, so.
All right, so we ready?
Sure.
All right. 3. All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, Metroid Prime!
During prime
It's
time,
back. It's back, baby.
If Metroid Prime was so good, why didn't they make Metroid Prime 2? Oh, wait, they did.
They did.
It's right here.
Oh. When's Metroid Prime 4?
So this is the first boss fight, and it went pretty well.
Ooh. Those are actually really hard to hit.
Yeah, you don't have your lock on for the first, second. So
Yeah.
second one's going to be a lot more consistent. Hey.
Hey, whoa.
All right,
Cool.
so one of the most important aspects of this game is there's movement caps going forward, backwards, and up. But sideways and vertically going down, you have no speed cap. So we take advantage of that in a variety of ways.
It's awesome.
So for example, if I pull out the scan visor,
Oh, you had the rail clip too.
basically in the game, there's an aspect that there's a thing you can do called combat dashing, and if you let go of L while you do a combat dash or do a combat strafe or a scan strafe, you can maintain that horizontal speed and get a lot of extra speed that you wouldn't be able to get normally.
One of
Do you
the
want to do couch
first
at all, or introductions?
after this. One of the first tricks that's going to be coming up here soon is Cody Ledge, and unfortunately, Cody couldn't be here today, but luckily he's here in spirit.
Yeah, he
I
gave the
believe so.
donation.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty
he's-
awesome actually. 'Cause
He gave a donation.
yeah, shout out to him. There used to be I want to say for 10 years, you would just do 2 double bomb jumps to climb the. Oh my god, is that the?
Oh my gosh! Do we have a guest?
Well, here it comes.
Oh no, it's Cody!
Cody's here.
Cody's here! So if you missed Cody Ledge, it was a fancy, or actually,
Yeah, there's a
I'll
reposition.
I'll
that
let
happens.
Cody explain it.
It's just doing
It's a ledge clip. I'm Glaceon, and it repositions you.
All right.
And then you can jump over the rail, and you don't have to go around the roof.
All right, thank you, Cody. Give it up for Cody. All right.
All right, so I'm going to take a safety save here real quick. There's a trick where if a certain mistake is made, then I have to reset. So
I don't need to watch the game. I
just
know
in
what's
case,
going on.
just in case I make that mistake, I won't lose as much time.
Yeah.
So this boss, I'm going to kill it real quick.
Real quick.
Hey! Oh, okay.
Hey!
So if you hold C up, and you can actually, instead of, what happens is your power beam kind of goes back to normal, and you can just spam missiles 3 per second.
Yeah, it skips the missile cooldown that you otherwise have by
And
just
then-
canceling it.
And then all you need to do is aim up at Parasite's Queen's mouth.
Yeah, so the mouth has a hitbox that if you hit it, you do twice as much damage. So
3 times.
3 times? Wow, it's a lot more basically. And casually, I think what Retro intended was that you use the scan visor to basically change the lock-on point from its body, which only does regular damage, to the mouth hitbox. But it's still there, so you can just manually aim at it. Also coming up, something I did not do in it was this seems dark. That looks good.
This is really dark.
Yeah, so this is a Frigate wall crawl. So first out of bounds, you'll see in the run. This team is really dark. You're looking pretty good there on alignment. So we actually run this for in-game time as opposed to RTA. Frigate Wall Crawl, though, has a huge RTA time save just because instead of like going through a bunch of cutscenes and going out of your way to go through like the sort of ventilation shafts that are meant for the escape, we're just going to go back the way we came, but out of bounds.
Yeah, we skip 40 seconds of cutscenes.
Those are really good Aether jumps. Oh, good save. One more. Yeah, out of bounds in Prime is actually kind of hard. Echoes improves on this a lot. Basically, if you kind of walk off a ledge, you don't have control over your lateral movement, like side to side. So you have to rely on just being able to execute these 3-frame inputs where the way the game works is that every room has a bounding box. I can't believe I'm explaining this.
Yeah, so every room is inside a box.
And so the way that like the sort of collision works is I'm butchering this already. I'm just gonna shut up real quick.
So basically, within the box, there's normal gravity, and outside of the box,
That's really good.
You cannot fall, but you slowly rise. And
That was a good escape.
yeah, that was a nice
For a marathon,
escape.
that was
Alright.
really good.
And when you go back inside the box from outside the box, you have a 3-frame window where you can jump,
Yeah.
and that's what we call Aether jumping. But if you miss that 3-frame window, you lose. Yeah, you fall and you lose all control over your character.
Yeah. Falling down out of bounds sucks because then you usually fall down to like the bottom of the ruins of bounding box, but just below the point where you can actually jump again.
Yeah.
So it can offer a lot of time save when done properly with good execution, but falling down just it can be it's risky basically. In Prime it's risky. Echoes not so much, but you can still.
Shout out to this upcoming sequence break
this
because
is a
it
huge
saves a
sequence break.
lot of time,
Yes. This is
and
the-
it's really not the most impressive one.
This
You
is like
just-
the most classic sequence break for this game called
dash
Space
to the
Jump
right.
First. So just a scan dash there. Again, taking advantage of that lack of a speed cap for sideways movement, and we get Space Jump right away. Now, Space Jump isn't like a late game item. You actually get it like I think only 7th in the sort of like intended item order. But having it just breaks open the early game entirely. And for 100% too, we can get a lot of more of I love the strat, but shouts to Justin. I don't know who actually came up with it, but just that little scan dash to go into that room with more speed.
Should we do introductions now?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big F Ningo.
I'm a Bash Prime. Actually, no, I'm sorry.
I'm slow.
I'm mistaken. I'm DCR.
I'm DF.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, we do.
absolutely.
We do.
All right. We just got a donation from Metroid HQ for $390.
Hey!
Happy to see Metroid getting some screen time. Good luck, Venmi, from everyone in the Metroid HQ community. And they have single-handedly fulfilled the Metroid Prime Exo boss skit.
Yeah!
All right, so I don't actually need to go grab missile launchers or missile launcher. I can just grab this missile expansion. The only difference between missile expansion and missile launcher is a fancy cutscene. That's
And a 45
It's
degree angle on the item pickup, if I remember correctly.
It's the best pickup in the game. It's angled. Yeah, so with missiles, you can go straight to Morph Ball, save a lot of time. I mean, this is 100%, so we will be thorough with, we will be going to Hive Totem eventually. And I think there's a strat where you actually go into the boss cutscene to save on in-game time. I don't know if that was done in like an older route, though. It might be...
it's true. That's correct.
Okay.
Um,
That's coming up, though. That's actually a lot later in the run, I think, right?
I don't want to fight them.
Yeah.
Space Jump, it's great.
Enemies in this game aren't really worth your time.
Yeah, you see Venmi going to Morph Ball. It's about twice as fast as walking, I think, with just normal Morph Ball movement.
11.8 versus 20, I think.
Yeah, okay, so it's almost like twice as fast. So for these tunnels in particular, just be committed to Morph Ball, even with the 1 second animation when you're morphing or unmorphing, it's worth it. So what Venmi did there was the room up ahead just loaded, and she paused the game to save on both, I believe, RTA and in-game time. Metroid Prime is one of the few games where, like, we on console too, where we're actually running 4 in-game time. It's just been sort of a classic staple, I think, of Metroid Prime runs, and most of the community is still very much like interested in in-game time runs versus RTA. But so that's one of the small time saves there, is just pausing the game. Pausing does not lose in-game time versus RTA, whereas it would. Basically, the way in-game time works in Prime is that during cutscenes or like like item dialogues where you like pick up an item or expansion. Basically time only goes up on the in-game timer when you're in direct control. So like that cutscene right there, the timer was paused.
Yeah, during all cutscenes, dialogue boxes, and pause screens, there's no in-game timer.
So actually kind of a similar start to kind of any percent here. We're collecting missiles, morph ball, charge beam, a lot of these very early game items in their sort of intended order.
Intended.
Yeah.
Like space jump first. Absolutely intended.
Besides space jump, sorry. There is an energy tank that Venmi did skip though. It's worth it to come out in terms of time save to get it later. Is that actually important for Hundo?
No, I just don't want to use that muscle memory later.
Yeah, so in 80%, it's actually really important that you unlock that door with the missile lock that's on it. For Hundo, it's not really as important, but I think we will be safety saving there for Flagra, because Flagra without energy tanks, I mean, for Venmi, it's not a problem. For me, I get a little uncomfortable.
You get 2 energy tanks, though.
Well, I mean, oh, right, because you have 2 for, sorry, yeah.
It's Hundo Bash.
You know what? It's charge beam that freaks me out, because I actually have died on those eye lasers, those ions, I think they're called. So.
Yeah,
also best boss in the game right here.
One of the strats we actually get to do in this run that we don't get to do in any percent is, in this run we do Ice Beam before Flagra,
yes.
whereas in any percent we do Ice Beam before Flagra after Flagra.
Yeah, it's an optional wall crawl you can do in 8% that saves up to I think 40 seconds for the ghost skip set part that wall crawl is actually important for. For 100%, getting Ice Beam early is actually really important.
All right, this boss is annoying.
Yeah.
The weak point that pops up is random in terms of its timing within a variance of 35 seconds between all 4 phases. So we're gonna sit here and wait.
I haven't been paying attention to how long it's been taking.
It's been decent so far.
Fingers crossed. Based Zoid. Yeah, so basically you can just be waiting for the eye to pop out. Again, 35 seconds total potential time lost purely because of luck.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. It's just annoying.
Yeah, it's a bit of an annoyance.
Usually it's not a run killer because it almost never happens where you get like the worst possible Zoid. But generally we kind of look into how average or good or bad a Zoid is by when the music loops. Unfortunately, it did move there, so we did get a below average Incinerator drone fight. We also call him Zoid because David Zoid Kirsch, one of the senior software engineers, I believe he was solely responsible for implementing like the logic and just the whole boss fight on its own.
He liked randomness.
Yes,
which
there's another upcoming part later in the run, which it's his handiwork.
Yeah. Thanks, I guess.
So we don't want to come to this room again. So nice.
Okay. You maintain full height until you're completely morphed. And then what I did there was called an instant unmorph. Basically, if you have a camera that obstructs Samus, the game's just not going to show the unmorph animation, and you just unmorph instantly.
You see Venmi waiting there for the door to open. It may seem like it's a very arbitrary, like random time when it loads. It's actually very consistent, based on like how fast the disc gets read on either a GameCube or a Wii, or even like on the Wii U's like SSD. I mean, that's a lot faster. But they're not random loads. They're actually predetermined, or they're just based on how much data needs to be loaded for the room. So we know exactly like how long certain rooms will take to load.
So to get out of bounds here, Venmi is going to do a technique that goes by many names.
Good catch. It's called.
We're gonna call it the slope jump for today. Basically,
this one sucks.
if you jump against a slope, you go higher. Is
Nice.
the basic understanding of it.
So now we're out of bounds, and we're going to use this to skip needing a couple of things. Spider Ball, but more importantly, needing Wave Beam to get to the latter half of Chozo Ruins. But these out of bounds movements, even though it looks like we can just stand on collision here, there's certain seams you have to stand on in order to not kind of be stuck in the you're falling down like state.
Yeah.
And also doing some skybox walking on these rooms too. So a lot of this movement's very like choreographed.
Yeah, out of bounds movement
Okay, that's fine.
actually has a lot of rules to it, which is pretty interesting. Because it interacts in a way that none of the rest of the game does.
That was actually a really, really good recovery.
Yeah, that
So
was
nice
a
job.
really nice recovery.
Yeah. This is probably the worst room. I mean, probably not to Venmi. I'm not sure what the worst room is. So again, just, she knows like where to stand, where she can just immediately input a jump and actually jump in the air. So she's gonna fall down right here.
This
but
room is very, the TV's a little dark. So.
Yeah. Oh, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
All right.
So she's gonna like either find a wall or a corner if she's doing. So with Prime again, because you don't maintain your movement, you can't just like go in bounds and then back out of bounds. Whereas in Echoes and in Corruption, you can. So you have to find ideally in like a RTA setting, like a non-task setting, you have to find a corner, and that way if you mess up the Aether Jump input and fall down, you'll just go outside the box again from the corner.
You have to be really careful on
That
this
was really close.
transition because if you are just slightly too far forward, you'll start the ghost trigger, and a Chozo ghost will spawn,
That
which
was solid.
is
Not bad.
very unfriendly for the run.
So now it looks, even though it seems like, well, hey, out of bounds is free, you're getting Ice Beam right now. Again, it's still very much execution based. It very much requires skill to do it fast. So
I'm letting this cutscene play out and holding C down because there's one frame where it'll switch over to Ice Beam, allowing me to leave this room just a little bit faster.
saves like I think 0.6
0.6
seconds
yeah.
of game time.
And as mentioned before, we time based on the in-game timer, which is the in-game timer only ticks up when you have direct control of Samus. And so cutscenes, text boxes, none of that you have control.
Yeah, so we will very often
Nice ghost
let a cutscene play to save half a second in-game time.
So normally in 80% when you do the wall crawl to get Ice Beam, even though it's done after, well after Flogger's dead, it allows you to potentially skip this boss fight. So Chozo Ghosts are annoying, but you can stun lock them during certain parts of their animations, and she got him in a good spot, so this fight's pretty much guaranteed to be over, almost. It's so dark. Oh, that was also a good snipe. Alright, so she's gonna let these two cutscenes play out, again, saves in game time. Also reposition by it moves both the tunnel and then repositions her right in front of the statue so that she doesn't have to drop back down from behind the statue to get into its hands. Also, anyone like bowling?
You know what's actually really funny is in the game files, the theme for this is called Chozo Bowling.
That's amazing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I was watching the randomizer or the practice mod do its thing, and I saw the sound file called Chozo Bowling, and I was like, that's wonderful. That's great.
So another scan dash there just to have a bunch of speed going to the room, save, minor time save.
Oh, ghosts.
Yeah. Best part about 100% is hearing that terrifying music. Yeah.
Do we have time for a quick donation?
Yes.
We have $20 from Cody7737. Thanks for ruining my reputation.
You ruined it yourself, man.
Ouch.
No, we love Cody.
That tunnel sucks if you go in it backwards, where you have the weirdest camera angle going in.
And,
Camera angles in Prime are great.
and the camera angle isn't always the same
Yeah.
when you go through that.
Sometimes the game's nice enough to give you Resident Evil camera. Hopefully we see that. I'm gonna curse this run. I'm sorry.
You should be sorry.
So we're actually off to a pretty good start here. We got 2 energy tanks, missiles, Ice Beam. So coming up, I believe, is Flagra.
Correct.
I've never run 100% before, so that's a lie. I've run it like 3 times.
It's the worst category.
It is not the worst.
It's a good category.
It is a good category.
It's actually good for you for any randomizer runners watching. This game does have a randomizer, by the way.
Ooh,
It's
nice
pretty cool.
plug, Bash.
Oh, this is a cool strat right here. So Venmi just did a instant unmorph in the air, and oh, it's dark.
What?
There's an invisible set piece of collision you can stand on. I think Venmi was trying. Oh no, there was the branch, and then
I can't see
the
any.
slope jump.
I'm just gonna go this way.
Just do the safe strat. Oh.
Yeah, dark
That's the
screens
marathon
are
experience right here. Just
a
having the
killer
brightness.
in this run. I actually can't see anything. Oh my goodness. We should have brightness tested this.
Thought it was fine.
It seemed fine to me, but oh yeah. Also, exclusive trick to the 1.0 version, where you can just do a bomb jump over that gate and skip the scan points.
Yeah, it's
like
actually
it's a
really
1 second
funny.
time save.
It's really funny how 1.00 is the best version. 1.01 you can't do that bomb jump,
But it's like the same game almost.
yeah, but other than that, it's the same game. And then in 1.02,
They ruined everything.
it ruined everything.
Also, this is Flagra.
This is this
So-
is Flukester.
So Venmi's about to cheat here. I mean, it looks like she's cheating, but it's not.
I like to call Flogger the cutscene boss.
Yeah, the Flukester. I'm so sorry.
This is a really long boss, but it only takes like a few seconds of in-game time.
It's a
15,
very,
20
very,
seconds.
very fast boss fight.
Yeah, so to kill Flukester, you have to bomb each of the bomb slots, but for some magical reason, these are the only bomb slots in the game, I think, where you don't have to be in the bomb slot.
They're just regular damage triggers that are meant to react to bombs. So just stand next to it.
Yeah, you
bomb
just
it.
stand on top of it and bomb it. That's how slots work.
Yeah, Flogger can actually be really dangerous in this speed run because you're getting so close to it. If you stand too far away from it and just don't move, it'll like to slash you. And unfortunately, for whatever reason, you don't have invincibility frames or like iframes after you get hit. Other enemies you do, but ooh, that was nice. I have so much trouble with the second dash. It's unreal how much trouble I have. And Venmi's making quick work of this fight. Very, very fast boss fight.
Yeah, very, very quick. In-game time.
I'm taking a nap.
Yeah. So one funny kind of side effect of this is that Flogger kind of thinks you're just standing in front of it, so he's just standing right. He's just slashing away at nothing, pretty much.
Really?
And
I mean,
that's the run.
Until he slashed you rare. Yeah. So Flogger's dead. Another
Smack
unseen
me down.
cutscene. It's actually like, isn't it just barely faster in like an RTA run to skip this and get the energy tanks to do a suitless magma run instead? I don't know. It's
I
close.
have no idea.
I mean, it's a lot safer to get Varia, but anyway, the whole point of fighting Flogger is to get Varia suit. Next up, we need to go to Magmor Caverns, and you take superheated damage like in other classic Metroid games. So, getting the Varia suit will take care of that problem for us.
And here's another 35-second cutscene.
Yeah, fantastic cutscene.
Man, Bash, I was really thirsty, but thanks to our sponsor, Red Bull, I stay quenched.
I'm not sure we're allowed to say that.
Are we? Oh, I was misinformed.
Do we have time for donations?
You tell me. I've got a donation here, $10 from Kirby Master.
Hey.
Hey!
Kirby Master here. I came here expecting Ven to do a 100% Metroid Prime randomizer speedrun, but I'm seeing Frigate and Vanilla Space Jump. Good luck, nerd, and congratulations on beating the first boss, Targets.
As opposed to vanilla everything. That was a good first boss.
I
Targets
don't know
were
what you're
very
talking
nice.
about, Kirby. This is a randomizer. It's just
Yeah.
I got super lucky.
What a crazy seed. Looks like everything's vanilla.
I know.
So an 80%. Wait, what are you doing, Venmi? Don't. No. Oh, you killed the run.
Oh
It's
yeah,
over.
it's over.
Yeah, 100%. You don't have to worry about early wild. We just come back with supers and spider ball.
And we do the cess,
Oh yeah, so
which
actually,
is a really fun bomb
you
jump.
technically don't need supers. You can do a really hard bomb jump to get up, but you still need spider,
Hard.
which means we're gonna be visiting our friend Thardis later on in the run. It's another great boss fight. So this section is pretty linear still. I think Venmi goes out of her way to get all the early Magmor items. Beside that, it's pretty similar sort of trek, like an 8%. Nice dash. Oh, you bounced off the wall, too. That was really good. I need to learn that. I actually like that strat where you just commit to the one missile and then just fire the other missile when you're about to land on the middle platform. Now, casually, I don't know if it's ever intended for you to have super missiles. I've always like shot super missiles at this thing casually. I think a lot of other people did too. You just need 2 missiles to destroy that that like rock pillar to get that artifact.
Do we have a quick second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a shout out to Ven from Crimson showed up in the chat. They are watching, and you have their supports and their bow and their axe, etc.
Awesome.
So there's an MMO I play, and I end up leading a clan called Crimson, and they're out to support me tonight. So I really appreciate you guys all in the chat. Thank you so much.
Hey, Silicone, do you want to do another 12-hour Lord of the Rings marathon like we did like 2 months ago? I think that was a good time to do that again. Just yeah, we watched Lord of the Rings again. It was just never did it in like a marathon fashion before with my friends, and it was just fun. But anyway, this isn't Lord of the Rings Prime. This is Metroid Prime.
Really?
You can wiggle out of the Triclops if they catch you. I did not know this for like 15 years of playing this.
I didn't even know it when I was speedrunning the game.
Yeah. Actually, that's very important too for a new out of bounds that was discovered by both Venmi and T3. Venmi mainly theorized it and thought, hey, this is actually like possible. I think just a matter of getting a good clip. So use that Triclops much in the same fashion you would from that sandworm enemy, I think, in Metroid Prime 2, where it just spits you out, and then for whatever reason the game doesn't factor in your collision, or I guess you're going too fast, and it just spits you out of bounds. So now there's a new modification to any percent where you can get a power bomb much earlier in the game than you would, even with the early power bomb you do get in any percent. That saves us from having to do the second infinite speed in that run. It's about like a 25 to 30 second time save. So 49 should be happening sometime soon, hopefully. I mean, we need 50 first.
Yeah, Magmore's pretty linear because you just go from one area to the next.
Yeah.
Because it's just a big line and has every single area in the game attached to it. Phendrana, Chozo,
Yeah.
Talon, and Phazon Mines.
Yeah, you'll see some slightly different Phendrana movement here. We are going to be getting both Boost Ball and Wave Beam, and that's one of the big time saves of Space Jump versus that. Normally, you get Boost Ball and then just go all the way back to your ship and get, or basically near where your ship is.
Letting this cutscene play out, move Samus
yeah.
forward.
Saves about a second of in-game time. It just repositions her. Oh, you said it already. Oh.
Very nice.
Yeah, it looks like the door's open, but you have to wait for the door to like be in its open state. Otherwise, a missile will just explode on it, like the door's closed. The collision's still there. Also, if you shoot the ground right there, the okay, never mind. You don't get to show off that cool little thing that I didn't know about. Also for like 16 years.
What a cool thing.
So on the floor in front of that door, there's like just a random damage trigger that has a reflect property, and if you shoot the floor like in that spot, your shots will reflect off of it. Yeah, it's amazing.
I never knew that.
I don't know anything about this game.
So I'm taking advantage of the 3-second bomb timer. Oh, that was bad.
It's too far away.
Oh well.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can take advantage of that timer. You can use it to set up bomb jumps that, especially, they're really important for low percent, where you can actually jump much higher using like effectively a 5 bomb jump. So.
Okay, this boss. Missiles are my best friend.
Yeah. So these baby Shigoths just died. Like 2 missiles and I think a couple of power beam shots. Alternatively, you can just shoot them with 1 charge shot and then just shoot again. But it's faster using missiles. Also, don't blink because we got another quick kill coming up. So there's a certain animation you do by hitting this adult Shigoth with bombs. And for whatever reason, when it's in that animation, when you hit it, it takes triple damage. Like that. Oh, close enough. Kill that thing. That was still pretty good. Nice job.
I don't know how to kill that boss.
Yeah. So you do that strat in the inbounds variant of getting early stun at 80%.
Yeah, I just do Wave Sun. It's
Yeah, Wave Sun's nice though.
and it looks cool.
It does look cool. We're not doing it 100% though, because it's actually So with Wave Sun, you can do this infinite speed 90%, where you take advantage of a really weird property with the Morph Ball and essentially screw up the collision the way that, so if you aim down right here, you missed it. That's fine.
That bomb is
not
always
that
in the way, all the time.
So basically, you in 90% you would get Boost Ball, Wave Beam, and then this Chozo artifact that you normally need Plasma Beam for, and then just kind of be like, okay, see you, Vendrana, I'm gone. That platform was in a weird spot. Implying that it moves like side to side, which it doesn't. I didn't realize you could slope jump there. I don't think we mentioned like what slope jumping does. Basically, lets you get a height boost jumping off of the slope, and it's much bigger underwater than without gravity suit. Which I think we'll see an example of that coming up a little later in the run. It's been a while since I've done 100%, so I kind of forget. Because Chozo 2 is still without gravity. Oh yeah, it has to be, right? So that was really good. That was really clean movement. Falling down in this room, Vendrana Canyon, kind of sucks. It's a pretty tall room. Just recovering, it's no bueno.
It's just sad.
Yeah. I cry every
it
time.
makes me feel bad.
Nice cutscene. Also unskippable. So Venmi just held down her lock a little longer than you usually would do on like a standard dash. Lets you sort of change your angle when you're dashing. So she avoided like this wall that would otherwise.
By the way, my favorite strat ever
Stop
is
her
coming up.
movement. Oh, I love this. Oh, go for. Oh, he could have gone for. Okay, you can jump off that Sheegoth. There's a couple of enemies actually. You can just get a boost, or I guess effectively it lets you stand on the. It acts as if like you're standing on the ground for I don't know how many frames. Also, even though we have boost ball, we can just climb this room with the slope jump.
Yeah, this here is the Pirate Labs. It's one of the harder parts of 100%. There's a lot of enemies, and they can kill you very quickly.
Yeah, these turrets in particular do a lot of damage. Having Ice Beam for this is nice, though. We do have Charge Beam, but Ice Beam, you can just freeze them, or even just shoot them with 2 missiles, since... I mean, ammo management actually is important for, I want to say, like, what, the first half of the run? I mean, there's or even parts of the second half, too. But
Power bomb management at the end.
Power bomb management is very important for mines. But some missile management's important, too, while we're here in Vendrana, so you can actually kill these pirates with a fully charged Ice Beam shot, like right here. And you can also just mainly just shoot them once with Ice Beam, freeze them, and then just smash them to smithereens with a missile. I was not sure if that wave shot was going to make it. That's the one nice thing about Wave Beam is that it has 3 different hitboxes. And it's kind of spread out, so you get a easier coverage. That's a really cool glitch, by the way. If you like change your beam, and then I think it's not that precise, but it has to be timed a certain way. While the beam's in like a mid-change animation, you can actually charge up a beam shot while you're in scan visor. Yeah, Venmi was trying to do a fast strat to climb this room, but just taking it a little safe. Nothing really too much to worry about. That turret's annoying. There's gonna be a couple more that are annoying.
Yeah, so something interesting that I didn't know for the longest time is that the Ice Beam actually permanently freezes turrets anywhere but Phazon Mines.
Yeah, because the turrets in Phazon Mines are actually a stronger variant called the Mega Turret. They're actually like different turrets entirely. Also, shouts to Cody. This is like his best space pirate friend. Oh, I've never seen that dash before. That's cool.
That was found by Eagle.
That's me.
I got really worried for a second, like, oh my god, don't keep me hanging.
Snap, that's going in the cringe comp.
Why? Just why? Oh yeah. Also, yeah. So with some nicely or some nice scan dashes here, we can. I don't know why they're nice. They're regular scan dashes. We can just climb this room, take advantage of some standable terrain. Good recovery there.
Nice.
So the super missile is on this platform that lowers down once you do this. You're expected to do this puzzle with the boost ball. Actually, the cutscene repositions you to where the platform's supposed to be, but because we never lower it, you just fall down. But that's actually good because we need to backtrack real quick. One staple of Metroid Prime is actually backtracking. So I love it, for sure. Nice missile shot to replenish your missiles there. So we're just making a quick detour to come back and get this missile expansion. That container can only be destroyed with super missiles, so...
That turret's annoying.
That's a little out of the way, but we do want to do these labs in one trip, so...
Why haven't we given that turret a name? We give all sorts of enemies a name.
I'm thinking of one, but I got nothing.
Let's just call it R2-D2 from
Let's
now
call him
on.
Dash.
R2-D2.
I mean, R2-D2's small and annoying and always in the way. And
So you might be hearing these sound effects. Venmi's changing her beam at opportune times. Managing what beam you're on is important because some, like for instance, she actually switched from wave to power beam in that last hallway.
There's a fight trigger here.
Yeah, there's a fight trigger here. But it's just narrow enough where you can walk right past the door, or just past the door, jump up, and then jump over it. You lose like what 2 minutes to the fight, and the doors lock around you too. Also, who needs plasma beam?
It changes. It also changes the layer later, which makes.
There's a lot going on in this
slower.
room, which is really interesting. So skipping the pirate fight trigger is one thing, and then the other one is you can just jump over the force field and angle your arm cannon down and shoot the explosives on the tower to bring it down to get this Chozo artifact much earlier than intended.
Well, we never mentioned the artifacts. So we have to collect 12 artifacts in the game. This unlocks the final area to face the final bosses.
Yeah, they do nothing but unlock the last level. And a nice job shooting the door there. Also not getting... Oh, wait, actually it doesn't matter because you didn't come up this way. Yeah, and 80% you actually do labs backwards, which is pretty cool. That trick also with bringing down that tower can be done, I think, in all versions of the game. Like, there's nothing they didn't patch it out. So if you play Trilogy,
Whoa.
try it out.
Is that a Metroid?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know Metroids were in this game.
I was going to be snarky, but I'm not good at that.
Come on,
I'll just agree with you. So, oh no, Metroid. Oh yeah, we have Ice Beam.
I thought this was Halo.
Oh my gosh.
Hi,
I remember,
Edward. Bye,
I remember
Edward.
being in school and arguing with like all my classmates like, which game's better? It's like FPS, so Halo's got the epic and it's rated M for mature Xbox. They're both good games. And I can't believe it's finally coming to PC, so.
Yeah, there's actually no such thing as a good game. Only a broken game.
You can't scan dash in Halo though. But you can do other broken things in that game, so.
Like, use the Halo 1 pistol.
That's the plan. Yeah, we're gonna get that coming up actually, the Halo 1 pistol.
What?
It shoots fire instead, but it's the Halo 1 pistol.
It's basically the same thing.
So in 80%, we actually do get thermal visor because even though it's a waste of RTA to go through these cutscenes, we're only losing like a couple of seconds at most. Because this is 100%, we get it anyways. Thermal on its own doesn't really do much. It's meant to help you find these like power conduits with the wave beam and help you see better in the dark. There's actually a cutscene coming up where there's actually a one-frame window where if you don't have your beam changed and you need to change it to ice beam, you can just hold down on the C stick and change it before that cutscene starts. So then now that these pirate labs are dark and you're supposed to like fight your way out of the labs backwards because you don't have ice beam to get out to Farfandrana, but we have ice beam, so another big sequence break is we're now here. But even though there's a lot of items we can get right away, Venmi's gonna make a quick detour. That way we don't have to pass through Farfandrana twice.
Because passing through it once sucks enough.
Yeah. Actually, Farfandrana is pretty cool. It's a very technical, like, part of the run.
Yeah, there's two things we're getting. An energy tank and
Yes.
plasma beam.
Oh, I think you took my water. How could you?
You told me that was my water.
Oh.
Oh, this was my water. No, I drink way too fast for that to be my water. That's your water.
Yeah, so we're just making a quick detour in Magmore to pick up actually the last two items in Magmore. So we're going to be cleaning it up thanks to having Ice Beam. We have time for like a quick donation maybe, or I don't know. I don't know if there's anything. Well, actually,
This upcoming room.
hold on.
This
Let's
upcoming
wait real
room.
quick. Sorry.
Let's do this next.
There's some cool tech in this room that Venmi wants to talk about.
Okay, so there are 3 spinners in this room. You're supposed to do you're supposed to boost in all 3 of the slots in order to get up, but I'm going to skip 2 of them.
You're also meant to have grapple beam to reach them, but we can, yeah. So in 80% you would do this room without grapple beam either, but because we have ice beam now, we can just immediately get plasma beam. It's so dark. Oh, there we go. Yeah,
Lovely.
Let's just play the rest of Magmore with thermal on. Nicely done. That was good.
Absolutely wonderful.
It's so bright.
It's so
This is beautiful.
we're so sorry.
We are
We're not sorry at all.
This team is extremely dark. Oops.
I can't believe you didn't reverse R jump like you said you would.
I just
Dark
figured, I
TV or
figured it
not,
out
it doesn't
3
matter.
hours ago.
Oh, there's a really cool slope / R jump you can do. Haven't really talked about R jumping. Basically, okay. Very nice. That's it's not like the hardest trick, but it's not. I don't know. I think for beginners it's like a little harder. You
Yeah,
don't actually
'cause-
need to do that jump to reach that door without spider ball. You're meant to like after like the ceiling raises with the spider track showing up. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, Venmi meant to dash off that, we call it a lava hamburger. It's basically a lava like clam, and then just go straight to the door. Anyway, so getting plasma beam without grapple and spider. So grapple, you can just dash to the spinners. Spider ball, there's actually like a rim around where like the ceiling's sort of like in its closed position, and you can stand on that. It's very easy to sequence make plasma beam without spider ball. The way that Venmi did it is just a faster variant of getting to that door. But you don't need to do that jump to get there. So we're just doing a quick puzzle real quick to get an energy tank. I think we have time for a donation or two.
All right, we've got $20 here from TP Speedrunning. It says, this is my first live event, and I'm having an awesome time making new friends and meeting ones I've only messaged online for the first time. Shoutouts to Shasta, Munchie Koopas, and all tech crew for being awesome. Also, let Marvin live. He just wants to clean.
Hey, we can name that Marvin the Turret.
Marvin the Turret, cleaning up.
I mean, I named the. I mean, it's not really a name. We have some names for enemies, like an 80% in particular. I mean, I don't know.
I think we all hate Calvin.
Calvin's our best friend at 100%.
Oh yeah,
He
in
cooperates.
100% we love killing Calvin.
You'll see
kinda
what
like
they're
a-
talking about in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like Kenny in South Park. We kill him every episode.
Good comparison. Okay, so we're now done with our quick detour. I believe we've gotten every item except for. No, sorry, we're waiting to get 2 more in Magmore Caverns, but we actually wrapped that in quite nicely. So I like that. That glitch is so cool, and you don't really need it at all for 80%.
Oh, charge storage.
Yeah. I think it's useful in like what, 1 or 2 spots in Hundo.
Yeah. Honestly, just 1.
I actually don't even know. Can you do charge storage in Echoes?
I don't think so.
There's a couple of new things they added in Echoes, or exclusive tricks in Echoes, like roll shots and instant morphs. That actually would be really sick to have in Prime. So who knows? Maybe you'll see Echoes next year. We'll see. Implying I actually get good at the game, though. We'll see.
Yeah, I think the Echoes glitch we all wish we had in Prime is item loss.
Another grapple skip we're about to do here. You can just dash to the platform or even straight to the door at 80%. We need to get this item in here. I mean, that's kind of implied it's 100%, right? So, what 100% is it's the item collection. We do not factor in actually. You can fill your logbook with like these lore scans on like what enemies do and such. There's a lot of like the scan visor is really useful and it has like a lot of cool. It's how the narrative is presented in this game. There's no real like cutscenes with like voice acting or anything. You kind of just learn more through like playing the game and getting information from like computer terminals and scanning enemies and whatnot. But anyways, there's a separate counter that like hey, you got 80% of the scans. You unlock this cool image gallery. For 100%, we don't factor in the scans at all. That's actually done in a category called 200%.
Yeah.
So that's why we've skipped a lot of the scans here. And there's actually 2 enemies in particular in Prime where if you if you don't scan them, and then one of them is if you just leave the room, they never come back, and then the other one is once you kill Thardis, you'll never be able to scan them again.
Disaster.
Yeah, those flying pirates are annoying. Also, we got a power bomb early. I forgot to even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just got it early, no problem.
Power bombs are a little important to the game.
That is one of 3 power bombs you can get early, like super early on without needing to collect them earlier. It's really, really nice having them early on because it saves. Like the entire reason you would do mines in 2 trips is because that's where you get power bombs normally in the game. But because we have them early, we can do mines entirely in 1 trip. I don't do that R dash. That's really cool.
Yeah, I usually just dash straight to the door.
Yeah, what's cool about like Prime though is like a lot of the skips you're seeing are like due to like 3 or 4 like kind of basic techniques. You have R jumping, which you just did. So with R jumping, it's kind of weird. Like how to explain it? Essentially, you can jump farther than an L jump, which is faster than just kind of walking in place. If you just L jump, you didn't really see that in like because we didn't do like an inbounds Frigate escape. With R jumping, you can potentially move faster with proper execution, but you lose control over most of your jump trajectory. Although, if again with proper execution, that's not even a concern. And then you have dashing, so like Venmi mentioned something called combat dashing. All that is it's just doing a dash jump with whatever visor you have equipped. So like scan dashing is exactly the same as combat dashing. Dashing with the scan visor is actually patched out in the player's choice version and the PAL and Japanese version. Actually, yeah, so this version of the game right here has it patched out. But you can dash with any of the other visors. So even though the NTSC version is the fastest version, partially because you have scan dashing, it's still pretty broken on PAL. Even Trilogy is broken in some ways. Like the Wii version, I think the world record for that is like a 1... Is it a 109 and 80% now? DF kind of improved that record a bit.
Again?
Oh, were you trying to get a dash off?
No, a power bomb.
Oh, okay. Right, power bomb management's pretty important. We only have 1, and usually the odds of getting a power bomb drop. So they are completely random, and they have a weighted value to them, but they're not like predetermined like they are in as much in Echoes. Although in Echoes, there's a low chance of kind of getting screwed over on power bomb luck or health luck or something else.
It's not predetermined. Well, it's predetermined the chance per room.
Yes.
And yeah, the game doesn't care if you have any or not.
Yeah, the refill is largely luck-based in Prime, though. But again, it has a weighted value. So you have like I think in most of Far From Drana, you have like a 2 in 7 chance of like each enemy and like crate dropping one, especially in like the Pirate Labs.
This one has a 5% chance. Nope.
Aw, that sucks.
It's like the 5th run in a row where I didn't get a power bomb.
Yeah, what's nice about having a power bomb is you can it's not like a quick kill, but it's a quicker like it's a way to quick kill Thardis on the final phase of the fight. Although I wouldn't really call them phases; they're more just it's weird. I'll explain it when the fight happens, or Venmi can. Oh yeah, that's Halo 1 pistol,
you don't
by the
need
way.
grapple beam at all.
Yeah,
grapple beam is useless.
Grapple, yeah, you can with pretty much R jumps, L jumps, and dashes. You can just skip grapple, and a lot of these dashes with it's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's pretty easy to master, and they're pretty lenient jumps too. So Thardis,
That was close.
Thardis is a pretty slow boss. Every rock he has 250 health, except for the last one, which has 500. So in total, he has 2,000 HP. There are, I think, 7 rocks. With Plasma Beam, though, Retro actually programmed Thardis in so that he takes 1.5 times damage extra to Plasma Beam.
Even though you should not have it
Yes,
at this point in the game.
Yeah, Thardis is more of like okay, the early game is kind of over at this point. Here's where, the mid game kind of begins. But we have Plasma, so we're just...
yeah, and Plasma Beam is very end game.
Yes. Yeah, Plasma is one of the last... I mean, it's broken because it almost charged Plasma one-shots almost every enemy in the game. And fully charged Plasma does 100 damage normally. It does 150 against Thardis, so... basically, like, one Plasma shot with a missile will be enough to get it out of the state where you can see the sort of rock with the normal visor. you actually don't need Thermal Visor to fight Thartus at all. It just lets you lock onto his rocks while they're in the, like they're in two states. One is when they're exposed and when they're not. When they're not exposed, you can only lock onto them with thermal. Whereas when they are, it actually overloads your Thermal Visor, and then you can just lock onto it with the normal combat visor. So there's kind of like 3 groupings to where like after you shoot like I think the first 3 rocks down, Thartus will kind of have a hissy fit and then make the game all foggy and stuff. And then after another 3 rocks, you'll have another hissy fit where he's just doing this like animation where he's I guess powering up or something. So now we're just waiting for him at this point.
He's just throwing a temper
This is where having the power bomb is important, because when the lightning strikes, you can then lay the power bomb and just immediately kill his last rock. He has 1 rock left, which has the 500 health, so it's the last quarter of his health left. Venmi right there just canceled the cooldown of super missiles by pulling up the scan visor and pulling back up the combat visor. Normally there's like I want to say like an almost 2-second cooldown, but with pulling up the scan visor, just pulls it up to, it reduces it to like half a second instead. And that's Thartus.
By the way, a lot of those manual aims, the game doesn't intend for you to use manual aiming on a regular basis, so...
You're meant to lock on, because this is a single stick shooter. So the C stick, the second stick, is actually used for selecting your beams instead. The other side of it is that your projectiles have very small hitboxes, so your shots have to be pretty precise. Although on Thartus, he's a big guy, so he's a big dude.
There's Spider Ball.
Yeah. So we've cleaned out basically all Far Phendrana. We left a couple of things in early Phendrana just because we don't have Spider Ball, in addition to not having Plasma Beam at the time. So this is the part where cleanup kind of starts in Phendrana and then in Magmore, and then eventually we'll be going back to Chozo Ruins. So to give you an idea, there's 100 pickups in the game in terms of like expansions, upgrades. 35 of them, I believe, or 37 are in Chozo. It's like, I think 35 or 30 or 37. I believe it's 35. So Chozo has by far the most. Phendrana has, I think, 27 items in it. And then Magmore has like, I think 10. Mines has like 15.
9. I think it's 9.
Or 9, yeah. And then both, I think, Mines and Talon have like, I think 12 to 15. I forget the exact numbers. So now that we have Plasma, we can get another Power Bomb expansion. And then we can just clean out the rest of early Phendrana. There were a couple of rooms. Oh yeah, we're about to get a cool cutscene here.
Nice.
Wait, what? Oh, you have to walk into the trigger. Oh, I didn't know you could avoid that.
You can't avoid it.
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't far enough in.
Oh.
Oops.
Yeah, this cutscene is supposed to play when you come back from getting Boost Ball, but we kind of did a lot extra after getting Boost Ball.
Yeah,
so.
we had Wave Beam and Ice Beam, getting eventually Plasma Beam. So these drones lock the room you're in, so you have to kill them. They're annoying. But ideally you want to kill them with Wave Beam because they otherwise do this like death animation and it's annoying, dumb. So this is one of the 2 locations for expansions, and I did not do Consultant up there. That's cool. So she didn't have to walk around the room instead, just immediately go to the spider track. You can actually get this item without spider track. My voice cracked.
Without Spider Ball.
You can actually crack your voice too in explaining stuff. Using a trick called a hyper bomb jump or HBJ. It's a bomb jump where you abuse the bomb timer, so you lay 5 bombs instead of 3, and then you kind of rub against the wall to and you take advantage of the friction you have when rubbing against the wall and Morph Ball, so it slows down like your descent. It's used for like the infinite bomb jump to get Artifact of Wild early. Was that a damage boost? That was cool.
Yeah. Completely unintentional.
Yeah, if you hold the R button down after getting hit by an enemy, if you have the right timing, you gain like a lot of speed. Shouts to Edzin's 100% task, which I think when he was going into Gravity Chamber, he damage boosted off of a drone and got like 90 speed. So just for comparison, you have 11.8 when you're walking.
And you have about 40 or so when you boost, and
Yeah,
about
Boost Ball is
37 with scan dashing.
Yeah, Boost Ball is the fastest like consistent movement you have in the game with proper timing. It kind of sucks actually because in Echoes in Prime you can just kind of charge boost willy-nilly, like there's not much cooldown, whereas with Echoes you have you have like a second before you can charge up your boost again. You can still move very fast in Echoes with Boost Ball, but it was definitely something I wasn't used to at first. So getting this artifact now, as opposed to using Infinite Speed, saves a bunch of time because Infinite Speed is a time commitment. You have to charge up you have to basically gain a bunch of speed and sit in place for 50 seconds, almost a minute, and then you can collect the item. So in 80%, it's nice because you never come back to early Phendrana once you get both. Once you get Boost Ball, Wave Beam, and Artifact of Sun. But because we do need to come back for the other expansions, it's worth it just to wait, get Plasma Beam, come back in. It's faster. And then because you can also route it in with the rest of the early Phendrana cleanup, it's nice. I like how 100%'s routed. It's pretty cool. Except for Research Lab Hydra.
Morph Ball is kind of like Samus's Pokeball, if you think about it.
All right, so I'm
Looks
going to
so
utilize a
bad.
trick called the Bunny Hop. If you're holding L and R and you press B when you land on the ground, you can
Nice.
maintain speed.
Oh, nice.
Bunny hops are really cool. They're useful for like I want to say more like low percent where you kind of have to bunny hop more. But. So
Low
these are the
percent's
last
free.
2 items in Magmore Caverns that are left. So because we didn't have power bombs, it wasn't a good idea to route this in. We do need to go in that room for the Chozo artifact because it's again 1 of 12 that you need to unlock the final level.
There's actually 2 more items coming up here.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about Fiery Shores and Short Tunnel. Yeah. Eventually, when I say we're done collecting items in Magmore, one of those statements will actually be true. So
There's one more after this.
Yes, there's one more. So Ice Spreader's nice. I kind of keep forgetting Ice Spreader's there.
It's the best item in the game.
I mean, it's good. It's not as useful in like a task setting, but I guess for RTA it can be. It's basically the second best beam combo in the game next to super missiles. So the way super missiles work, normally they're like an extra missile type that you have that you can select in the 2D Metroids. In Prime, it's actually what's called a charge combo or beam combo.
Beam combo.
Where so again, unlike the 2D Metroids, the beams don't stack in Prime 1. They do in Prime 3 actually, but
Which is so weird.
yeah. But what's important about the segregated beam types is that they have some affinity to them. So like power beams are like your standard beam weapon, right? But then wave beam has electrical effects. It can power like electrical devices. Ice beam can freeze things in place, and it's really useful against flame or fire-based enemies. And then plasma beam just one-shots everything. It's amazing. But they all have their own beam combo, which requires missiles and having the beam and charge beam to use. So for power beam, that's the super missile. That's actually the one technically required charge combo to have in the game. The rest are more just like useful items for combat. Wave Buster is basically a Ghostbuster like beam where it basically is the beam from Ghostbusters from their guns. I forget what they're called. I'm sorry. I probably angered like the 3 Ghostbusters fans that are in here. Actually, there should be more than that. It's a good movie. But it automatically locks onto enemies without you needing to lock onto them. Drains a lot of ammunition though. Also, that's another skip you can do for skipping grapple. It's just that
It's
dash
so
opposite.
dark right
It's
now.
so dark, dude.
And then, of course, the last beam combo is Flamethrower, which, despite its name, is actually a flamethrower.
Yeah, it somehow requires missiles to use, but yeah. So there's like 2 different types of beam combos. One is just you fire a single shot. Supers take 5. Ice Spreader takes 10. But then with Wave Buster and Flamethrower, it's like a continuous like projectile that as long as you have missiles, you can just sustain it. But it wastes a lot of ammo to use, so it's not particularly useful except for like the final boss.
Well,
There we
Wave
go.
Buster also kills Flagra, which
Yes.
is very helpful. Very helpful.
Yes. You can kill Flagra entirely with Wave Buster with I think 218 missiles. I think.
Oh.
I'm not sure what happened. Yeah, this dash actually isn't that bad. It's just the room is really dark.
Yeah.
Nice save. It's okay. It's just nerves. Don't worry.
Yikes.
So even though we're supposed to have X-ray, these platforms can be stood on. And then what Venmi's going to do is do an R jump. Okay, good. So there's one more item in this like section here called this room is called Root Cave. So that plasma door, you can actually do a really easy out of bounds movement to skip it. Probably, I would say if you want to learn like out of bounds movement in Prime and just how to wall crawl,
You should learn Frigate wall crawl.
No.
no, please don't. I don't do Frigate wall crawl.
I do. When I'm
Yeah.
not doing runs.
I mean, that's props to you, man, because you don't have to worry about learning Frigate wall crawl later.
Yeah. I'm excited to learn exo skip.
Well, we're actually gonna see it, so we're actually gonna see exo skip in a run. Shouts to 59, which I don't have yet.
Shoutouts to 118, which I don't have yet.
Okay, get it.
I can get it thanks to exo skip, which I'm about to learn.
So this is Chozo 2 cleanup. There's actually a lot of interesting movement that goes on, but parts of it, like, I don't know, there's some really cool tech that's done, like a wall crawl. But we do have, I think, some time. I mean, I guess it's Venmi's call, but we do have some time throughout this cleanup to do some donations. So,
All right. We have got some donations, if that is okay.
Yeah.
Got-
oh, actually, real quick, sorry. Yeah, I could just jump on this branch and just climb the room without Spider Ball. Okay, or
Yeah,
Boost
we're
Ball
good
and
now?
Spider Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got $100 from Elect Lover 2021. Says, oh hey, Prime Hunters. I used to play that a lot with people online. It was great. I wish there was more multiplayer for more Metroid games. Hello to all my friends and people who know me there. Wish I could have gone, but at least I can give. Here's to more awesome and to win this challenge. Kappa.
Metroid Battle Royale, please.
Please no. Yeah, shouts to Hunters. It's Shasta's running that Saturday at noon, I think. Assuming we're on time, or assuming the schedule stays. Check out the Harara schedule for you'll get the most up-to-date schedule. That's a cool speedrun in itself too. Way different from the main trilogy, but it's awesome. Also, I thought Echoes' multiplayer was fun. It wasn't like, super feature filled, but I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, that room you don't need missiles.
Yeah, and then this is a room where you can actually do this really cool underwater slope jump.
Whoa.
Didn't quite catch myself there, but yeah. So in 80%, you would actually you skip gravity suit altogether. You don't need it. This is like the one room where you actually do need it. Besides going through the frigate with the crashed space pirate frigate spoilers,
Which you shouldn't go through at all.
yeah, you don't have to go through it at all. There's a couple of ways to skip it.
Unless you're doing a hundo, in which case,
Yes.
Why are you doing a hundo?
So, you make this couch so much enjoyable to be on, dude.
I'm glad.
Eagle here, man. I almost forgot you were here, dude. I'm sorry.
That's all good.
It's because he's so short.
I feel.
Oh wait, you guys are the same height.
You're taller than me. Oh, so this is you can go for like a one-time boost there, I think, and optimally just get it. So in 80%, this is the missile you get first instead of the one that's on the grapple ledge. And then we would go out of our way to get this. There's an energy tank that's behind Venmi right now on a ledge.
Spoiler
Any
alert.
percent, yeah, that's
Per
exactly
percent.
I didn't know the music stopped there.
Stay tuned for 21%.
Yeah, the music triggers are weird. I think it depends on like what items you have too. Like after you get, I think bombs or something. You actually don't have to propel yourself the bomb jump. That bomb will destroy that box. And then we just abused standing on that like little ledge or cropping coming out of above the door, and you don't have to do that bomb puzzle. It's not that much faster, but it's nice. It's pretty easy too.
Yeah, it's easy to balance a morph ball on a branch for some reason.
If you play randomizer, you should not forget this missile expansion because it's really easy to miss.
It's always something useful too.
even in casual play too. That missile was easy to miss too. It's like,
That jump that I did hits a load trigger, so that way this door opens immediately. Otherwise, I'd have to wait.
nah, she actually made a mistake and meant to jump up there. It was an execution mistake. No, sorry, it's RNG manipulation.
Yeah, it's an RNG manipulation strat for Exo. Oh, wait.
Also another situation where there's like a platform underneath Venmi that's yeah, we skipped the boss fight too. That's the Hive Mecha. We're done with Hive Mecha. So
Entertaining boss fight.
yes.
Best music in the game.
Yeah, really good music. Well, I mean, Zoid has it too.
But Zoid.
Yeah. So after the boss fight's over, there's like a platform that kind of is like, oh hey, here's the missile. Get your missile launcher. But because that platform's kind of lowered from the beginning.
Do the cess. Do the cess.
That's why Venmi kind of fell down after getting the missile. Again, just a glorified missile expansion. Nothing important about it besides the missile being like. I don't know how to do this room optimally, so I'm just assuming she's doing everything right.
I just do it with the cess.
No, that was
Test only.
that was not good.
Hey, remember when you tried finding the BSJ method for Early Wild? How'd that go?
It's actually a roll jump method, and literally consider it done.
Hey, that's echoes only. It's actually not echoes only, but
Are you doubting my skill dash?
yes.
I mean, when a tasser says something is impossible, you know it's possible.
I mean, it's not a slight against you because I doubt my own skill. Especially in Prime 3 Corruption, which I definitely speedrun like all the time. All right, so now we're finally doing the Artifact of Wild. This fight sucks, but we have super missiles, so it's not too bad. Having X-ray visor would be nice, but so we can just time these charge shots and immediately just rack up some damage on these Chozo ghosts. Nice job. So again, Venmi just canceled most of the cooldown by switching to scan visor for the super missile. And then these Chozo ghosts go down in one charge shot and one super missile shot, so.
I've actually never even considered using the charge shot first.
Yeah, supers make nice work because it knocks them back, so it puts them in an easier spot to try to stun lock them.
I got lucky
Yeah.
on the air animation, thankfully.
Yeah, this fight can go so wrong in 80%.
Yeah, using the charge shot first though is actually like smart because the worst part is when you can't tell which ghost you already used your super missile
Yeah.
on, and then you're like, oops.
Yeah, Chozo ghosts they're annoying because you actually can't even hit them when they disappear. They're one of two enemies that while they're disappeared, you can only see them and damage them in X-ray visor like continuously. Or let me rephrase. So when they're not visible, you can't hit them even when they're not visible. You have to have X-ray visor equipped.
When they're not
Whereas with,
visible,
like-
you can't hit them even when they're not visible. I appreciate that, Bash.
I definitely clarified things there.
Very clear. Crystal.
There's some cool, well, not really that cool, but unfortunate. I think she was trying to beat the bomb timer.
I was trying to
there.
abuse the bomb timer
Yeah.
and I failed.
So it's actually faster to do that bomb slot first and then just go up to down. I think casually you should kind of be like, oh, I'll just get the easier one first and then learn how to double bomb jump. So
Also, something weird is that the bomb or the game plays like a cutscene that rolls you out of the hole.
yeah.
For some reason.
And those bomb slots are actually still active even after you raise the slots. I think it's if you leave the missile expansion there. Maybe not. No, I think I'm wrong. Tom Luke showed me this. Shout out to Tom Luke. He's cool. Very old school member of the Prime community.
Isn't he like Canadian or something?
Yes.
What's up with all these Canadian?
Why do you
Prime
say that like it's
runners?
a bad thing? Come on.
I mean, it's Canada versus like
There's literally
America.
Canadian people here at the event. Come on, dude.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Canada is cool,
Oh, that was
but
nice.
you know,
Ooh,
it's,
that
not,
was
it's
close.
not America.
Yeah.
All right,
that was
so
a really
there's
cool dash.
So you can go out of bounds here by jumping on these, well,
It's okay. Let's just pretend we
that
jumped
again.
on it. Okay. So
Um,
she's about to do this first try.
all right, let me actually get on the branches before I continue
I blame the TV. So she actually has to jump back to that platform because she has to load this morph ball tunnel room that's coming up. If she falls down, it reloads the room that
It reloads
close to
the
the
room right
elevator.
before main plaza.
right. So
Reloads
we're out
the
of
room
bounds.
next to it.
And then so Venmi has to keep track of what room is considered active, and you see that when the mini map on the upper right changes. And then she has to hit certain load triggers to
Like that
yeah,
one.
there. So the skybox disappeared. So that unloaded main plaza, the previous room we were in, and then that way we can safely load this room. Prime, so unlike Ocarina of Time, which has every like room in the game in a certain like world, like a Shadow Temple or like a any sort of dungeon or even the overworld. What Ocarina of Time does is it just disables like the textures and like the loaded actors with like enemies or torches and stuff. With Prime, it can kind of just it only has enough memory to load. Oh, I don't think it.
So Venmi is about to do a ceiling warp.
Yeah, she tried to hit a load trigger, but I think she had to force load the room instead. So There we go.
Yeah.
So she's now out. So now she's going back into this training chamber room while the game thinks she's in like the hallway next to it. And what that does is the game calculates your collision against like walls and the floor differently, and it's very easy for the morph ball to get stuck in rooms that aren't considered the active room. There's like some additional like safeguards in the collision checking.
Oh, something funny is that the spider track right there.
Please shoot the door. Okay, we're good. If you don't shoot that door and get the Chozo Ghost to appear, you soft lock. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's up?
The spider track coming out of the E-Tank is actually always active. The texture just changes when you activate it. I found that in a not a hundo, a randomizer once, and I was like,
so this is the power bomb expansion we get first in 80% using infinite speed. Normally you just dash all the way across, but we have gravity suit and we have like what 10 energy tanks right now, so
yeah. So we're just gonna go normal speed.
Yeah, like falling in the lava is no big deal in hundo at this point because we have so much health and you move through the lava.
I hate this fountain, by the way. I'm not going to use it.
This room is very dark, and on this TV it's very dark. Normally you're supposed to use this fountain here. Since Flogger's dead, it'll propel you to the spider track that's on the ceiling, and then you would use the spider track to roll to this missile expansion. But you don't actually have to do that. You can actually get this item without spider ball, but more importantly, you can get this item without having bombs actually.
I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it just so happens to be faster to.
This room is really dark.
Yeah, it just so happens we were getting this item after both Flogger's dead and we have spider ball and bombs. So
you also may notice that the morph ball seems to move really weird on spider tracks. That's because she's actually mashing the R button because for some reason the spider ball goes faster when you first attach. So if you mash R, you'll go faster along a spider track.
I don't think that's true in general though. It's only for like horizontal movement, right?
Really?
I heard that. I've heard two. I've heard it one way and I've heard it the other way. So I don't know what's actually
It's always
correct.
the case.
I'm sure there's like a runner in chat.
Everything in this
Justin
game,
or someone.
every time I hear anything about this game, there's like 5 different ways that it's true.
So, still in the middle of Chozo cleanup.
Those bats have a 100% chance of dropping a power bomb. So
Yeah,
I
those
take
bats are
advantage
nice.
of that.
The scarabs too on the ceiling, going through certain hallways, have very high chances of dropping power bombs. So refilling our power bombs here is nice, just because ammo management or power bomb management in mines. So you can only have a maximum of 8 power bombs in the game after getting both the main upgrade and all the expansions. I think we have what 3 or 4.
We have 4 right now.
We have all 4 of the expansions. So.
Which, fun fact, your percentage actually drops.
Yeah. Also, laying a bomb there is nice because that plasmite will hit you and you fall down. It's annoying. that beam came out, no problem. It's actually cool if you unmorph and morph and hold the A button. You can actually buffer either a power beam shot or whatever beam you have equipped. You can buffer a shot out of your arm cannon.
You can.
And
you
also
can
a bomb too.
It works with power beam, morph ball bombs, power bombs, and missiles.
So yeah, we just have to do a bit of cleanup there. We could actually get that missile underwater both without gravity suit and before fighting Flogger, but again, just
you can also do it without space jump or an energy tank.
Right. It's harder.
It's actually extremely hard.
All right, so there was a puzzle earlier on that I decided I didn't want to do because it's slow.
We're
So
still
instead, I need to go out of bounds
Should we
again.
safety save?
I'll be fine.
I mean, it's IBBF. Oh no, you don't even need to do that. The whole IBBF. We're just going halfway. Yeah. So Venmi's doing the definitely inferior strat of not doing the energy core puzzle. Doing which only makes me and like I think Jack879 happy. So it's not like everyone in the game loves energy core, but I do it in 80% because I don't do ice beam before Flogger.
I need a moment.
Yes.
That does not help.
This room is so dark.
Oh my goodness.
You're good.
No, I'm not.
Oh, because of low trigger?
Yeah, I gotta figure this out now. How am I doing this?
Transition to furnace, then ceiling warp here. That's what I do.
That's safer.
Oh, in here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's not even loaded. I think you hit the trigger, though, to make the load trigger appear there, though.
No,
Oh, no. It might be behind you.
it is.
Yeah, so there's a certain spot in Energy Core that you have to hit for the load trigger to... Basically, it changes depending on whether you hit this trigger or not. And out of bounds, it's possible to miss it. So again, we have to unload Energy Core to load this upcoming room of the head furnace. We're going to transition into furnace. Oh. Yeah, this room's kind of weird to transition in. So now the game thinks we're in the next room. So now we can do a ceiling warp like we did for the that one energy tank earlier. Although, you have to be kind of... It's weird.
Where do you normally do this one?
I do it in the middle.
Oh, in the middle. All right.
Yeah, this room doesn't have a very high skybox, so that's why she's not falling down. She's like above the room. Oh, what? There we go. Nice.
There we go.
Okay.
So that's to skip a locked door that you can actually pass through coming back from. And we actually did that. Oh right, we got this energy tank earlier. It's just safer to get it for the sake of the marathon. So.
No, I just wasn't paying attention.
Oh. You do get that later on in 100%, right? You don't
No,
get it your first
you get it
visit.
the first time around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Randomizer. It's probably randomizer.
Either randomizer or I was just a little bit.
God, this room's so dark. Oh yeah, so you don't need. You can actually get this item without spider ball or boost ball or power bombs. We have all those, so we can instead just. Even though we can blow up this, there's a hidden gas pipe on the floor that you would blow up with a power bomb to expose. But we just jump. We can actually jump up onto this like the furnace boiler itself and then just collect the item. And then having spider ball. Well, not needed. It makes it a lot more consistent because otherwise you have to do this this precise double bomb jump, and it's annoying.
Task only.
Especially in randomizer. Yeah. In randomizer, it's task only. In Hundo, it's not required.
There's a puzzle you can skip here as well.
Yeah. This is the faster variant of climbing up this room and abusing collision. Fun fact: Retro disabled you being able to jump off of that first peg coming out, but you could jump off the second one.
Retro
And-
has really funny bug fixes.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the Wii version, you can't actually jump on this one that I'm doing right now.
In the reflecting pool room, which is like where the ice beam was, there's these like stone toads that I didn't mention this, but you can actually slope jump off of them. This is actually a pretty like consistent ledge clip that Venmi's doing. I think it's reliant on having enough vertical momentum. I think it's dumb. Either it works or it doesn't. Usually it works though. There we go. Nice.
There we go.
So Skip's having to need super missiles, spider, boost ball. And then you don't even need boost ball to climb out. You can. Oh yeah, I forgot about this tunnel here. That
There's
exists.
a tunnel there?
Yeah.
What?
I think it's actually still faster technically, like to not use it, but that's cool. All right, so now we're cleaning up the rest of. Almost done with the Chozo cleanup here. We got. I think this item. That's it. I think.
Yeah, this is actually like the last item you get in any percent,
Yeah.
other than truth.
Yeah, which is in the artifact temple. So
Yeah.
we're actually going out of our way to collect like 11 Chozo artifacts because the 12th and last one's like at the artifact temple where the gate to like the final level is. So
Yeah.
so at this point now Venmi is going to you don't save. You're doing Frigate right about now, right? You're not doing. Oh yeah, because that's hard. Isn't it like task? Not task only, but. All right, so it looks like she made a mistake jumping there. That's again to load the to hit the load trigger for
I
this
missed
door.
it.
Oh, I thought you hit it. It's kind of precise. I need to try boosting up that wall. I haven't gotten it yet.
Do you think there's time for donations?
I think so, yeah.
Do we have any donations?
We do have some donations. We've got $50 here from 20fun%.
Oh no.
21% is obviously the best category
It's
in
a
this
cool
game.
category.
But 100% is pretty good too.
That's either LV or Cody.
That's definitely LV.
I also want to shout out that The World Ends With You is coming up next, and we have a music bid war to choose between the original and remixed OSTs. Right now, there are no donations, so you can choose the OST. That power is yours.
It's so hard to miss that expansion. That's the one expansion you actually have to be really careful avoiding in this game's low percent, which is 21%. But
That was
Space Pirates are fun, dude.
That was
They're
unique.
great.
that's all I
This
gotta
is
say.
just
That
a
was
bad
unique.
game. Can we go back to corruption?
So this
No.
is the definitely the this is the best part of Prime right here, the Crash Frigate. Very atmospheric, very cool area, but just I as a speedrunner, it's annoying, especially in like a randomizer setting. There's only 3 items here that you have to get, and it's just not too lengthy, but just linear, I guess. That's the whole thing.
Yeah, so there's a gimmick where you have to shoot these electrical panels with the wave beam to activate them.
Yeah, because the doors were powered because the whole ship crashed.
Yeah, the whole ship crashed, which is really tragic, you know.
One cool thing about the Space Pirate Frigate, though, it holds a lot of resets. You
Yeah,
reset a lot in that
actually-
level too.
But that was back when it was flying.
Yeah,
Now it holds an item or two.
yeah, yeah. They just
It's a
came out of
severe
storage
downgrade.
somewhere.
Really?
Oh, you're trying to get the door to explode earlier. Yeah, like look at this. There's an energy tank there now.
Yeah, it was very nice of them to crash perfectly. Because
I'm not
otherwise,
even gonna argue with you on how that logic works, but okay.
otherwise, how would we get to Phazon Mines?
Yeah, it would be. Gotta go through the Crash Frigate, dude. You actually don't have to.
Very, very thoughtful of the Space Pirates.
Venmi, can you just go out of your way to show us gate skip? It's a great trick.
Can we do a reverse gate skip?
Yeah, let's do that too.
Yes.
No.
I actually like that first power conduit. It's just narrow enough, or just wide enough, excuse me, where you can just shoot the charge wave beam through, and then it'll hit it. Another nice thing about wave beam, even though it's actually the weakest beam, like charged. So for reference, power beam does 50 charged, fully charged. Ice is 60, plasma is 100, and then wave is 40. But it allows you to home in on enemies when locked on. So. Although admittedly, shooting uncharged shots at these like electrical panels is annoying because their hitbox again is per beam, so it's possible for it to just, you know, hit the
Possible
wall
I
when
landed
it's like
there?
spread out all the way.
I was gonna say if I landed there, that would have been impressive.
So I usually find it more consistent to hit those electrical panels with like a charge wave beam, but you actually can't do that in the main core room in Phazon Mines. It just for some reason reflects off of it. So
That
oh, that was sick.
Wow.
whoa.
Yeah, if you have enough speed and boost, I think with proper timing against the wall,
Gives you
you could
3.
just boost straight up and not even a bomb. I mean, it only saves like what, a second, so.
That visor reflection reminded me of the fact that in every mirror in this game, Samus is T-posing,
Nice.
which
I mean,
is
are we all
useless.
T-posing in our hearts though?
Our hearts kind of T-pose, you know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What am I
either.
doing? Guys, look, I'm attempting humor. Oh my gosh, are you actually?
I too
Oh, right, you
do
have
the
to-
comedies.
Yeah.
Oh, no reverse gate skip.
Yeah. So there's a couple of
Unsub.
there's a bit of cleanup we're doing here. We actually do need an item coming up here, 2 in fact. But there's another missile expansion. Oh, she tried to do a dash off of the dying plant there, the blood flower.
Well, I mean, technically, we actually need every item in this game.
Yes, we do.
So-
It's very important. So coming up is the Life Grove tunnel, Life Grove room. Life Grove tunnel has the worst half pipe in the game. It has amazing collision where you'll just get stuck on it for no reason. But coming up is Life Grove, which has both the X-ray visor, which you think for a visor, like, you know, we've demonstrated the thermal visor, while useful for seeing in the dark, due to this TV here. Actually not required at all in the game. You can skip it in low percent entirely. X-ray visor you cannot skip. You absolutely need to pick it up. One is, well, I mean, you could actually go into this room out of bounds. There's these walls that you have to blow up the power bomb, which I think can only be destroyed once you pick up the X-ray visor. Now those can be skipped, but X-ray is needed for one spot in the game, and I'll mention it when it happens. But the other reason this room is important is because there's a Chozo artifact here. So Now, if you don't have gravity suit and you're doing low percent, you don't have boost ball, it's actually possible to set up the morph ball in a way where it can just rotate freely without boost ball and just cause the spinner to just you can move the I guess the lock on that, like whatever that is that pops out of the ground.
You can do it with gravity as well.
Oh, you can. Okay. That's cool. I didn't know that. There's a Chozo ghost fight here, which we can just skip by jumping on that stalagmite, whatever that is. It has just a very narrow piece of standable collision. As we've definitely not demonstrated before, this game you can stand on a lot of things that don't look like you can stand on it.
Yeah, Samus is very balanced.
Yeah.
Especially
It's
in
parkour, dude. It's ultimate parkour. And then, again, she obstructed the camera between, she obstructed the camera with that ramp, and so she just immediately unmorphed instead of waiting a second for the animation to complete. So now we're finally entering Phazon Mines. We actually had everything we needed to come in here earlier, but again, due to cleanup, we're saving probably one of the coolest parts of the game for last. And 80%, Phazon Mines is very technical, and 100% it's a lot safer because you have a lot of energy. But coming up, there's a trick coming up that is dangerous, and I will definitely go out of my way to remind Venmi to safety save at Central Dynamo. Yeah, so this electrical panel right here, if you shoot a charged wave beam shot at it, it just reflects. No reason, it just consistently reflects.
It does?
Singles, yeah, regular wave beam is fine, but if you charge it, boing. Scanning that space bar.
I didn't even know that.
So again, we have Spider Ball, but don't need it.
What a good video game.
It's a great video game. This is a fantastic video game. If you haven't played this casually, you should. This is in like a lot of people's like at least top 5, if not like top 3. It's a fantastic video game. I'm actually not being sarcastic. This is my all-time favorite game, both casually and even after learning the speed, learning how to break this game apart with tricks. It's such a fun game. Okay, so what she was trying to do was deactivate the force field so that we could come back later. We're actually going to be doing a lot of the mines backwards. But lowering that force field is important because it does have collision on both sides of it. So there's like these 2 panels you have to scan. And then she'll just finish scanning it there. So not only does that allow entry, but it lets you exit that from that side, or from the other side of that door. So it looks like you need gravity suit for this room. You don't. You just have regular physics for whatever reason.
It's fake water.
It's fake. Yeah. It's oh, you know what? This is Glacier Frost Gatorade.
Really?
Glacier Freeze Gatorade, excuse me. It's my favorite flavor.
Now it's extremely frosty because we went in there with a ice beam.
Also, most important item in the game, grapple beam.
You can't skip this one for whatever reason.
Even at 80%, you just need it. You don't need it for anywhere. No.
Metroid Prime Exo uses grapple beam more than we do.
Yeah, we really do. Now, what's cool about having grapple beam is you can do dashes off of grapple points without needing to scan them.
Grapple dashing is the coolest trick in this game.
Like
Next to yeehaw jumping, of course.
Yeah, she just fist bumps whenever she grapple dashes. It's great. Yeehaw jumping is it's a treasure. Also, we're just waiting. So that was RNG manipulation. So coming up is a maze. That's random.
Yeah, if you fall from far enough, you can actually break Samus's ankles.
So that's what that animation is. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, right now she's just lightly sprained.
Was that an instant morph you could do there?
There is.
Okay.
I missed it.
Oh, yeah, so this is the first elite pirate. These are like the strongest space pirates in the game. They're I don't know. They're basically Arnold Schwarzenegger. But we could just jump off them.
And just like Arnold Schwarzenegger, hasta la vista, baby.
Okay, this TV's too dark.
There's a backup for this room. The game is usually not this dark. It's just our TV and then the capture 2.
John's.
Someone's a melee player.
Nah. I shower.
Shouts to grapple beam being more broken in melee than it is in this game. and then just goes
Extender.
Yeah. God, imagine you get extender.
Imagine if we could
The other side
Goomy
of the room.
Zoomy in this game.
Imagine getting super wave dash, dude. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
There's a frame perfect morph you could do there. I don't know if Venmi got it. It's awesome. It
I
saves a
didn't hear
second. Did you get any of them in Workstation at all?
No,
or?
I didn't.
Okay, yeah. So that's like the fourth and final time you could potentially do that, where you scan a scan point and then you have one frame where you can morph before a cutscene plays. But it didn't happen here, so.
Oh well.
So she's gonna do this particular movement here to reach the bottom of this room quicker. It's a really cool like dash for some reason. And then you jump and then dash off the this wave pirate here, and then you just fall straight down to the room. There's a load trigger that you have to hit for this room to start loading, and it's on the ground. So ideally, you want to be moving to that load trigger as quickly as possible.
If you're really sneaky, you can jump onto the monitors down below, and the space pirates can't see you.
Yeah, if you don't quite touch the floor, the space pirates are just like, you're right next to them. They're just like, what's up, guys? Hey, Harold, how was work today?
Yeah, they're actually very territorial, and as long as you're on the monitors, you're not in their territory.
Yeah.
This is the other random thing that was mentioned earlier.
This is a
There's 300
mechanic.
possible mazes, range from 15 to 55 squares,
With only odd-numbered amounts of squares that you need.
and
So
not
we'll
counting
see.
53. I think. Whoops. No, it was this
Yeah.
way. It was this way. Whoops.
Screw 53.
This already looks great. Oh,
Yeah.
actually, oh.
No, this looks pretty bad.
Yeah, this looks like a 40.
Oh wait.
Oh, wait, no, we're good, we're good. This is
Oh.
like 30-something.
I think
That
it's
was like a 31, I think. That was good.
It looks like a 27.
Why do you think Zoid didn't like 53?
I don't know.
Because
the
math.
record was 53 for 3 years or so.
It's a
He
bad
knew.
number.
He knew that.
It's like he knew.
He knew T3 the Legend well before. Like all the tricks started coming out.
Speaking of
safety
53, did
save.
that one runner ever get sub 54 by the end of last year?
Huh? No. Oh no. So, yeah. So T3 and Justin are the only two runners right now that have times below 54 minutes. DF is in third place with 54. That's a great time, but and then you have like 6 people with 55, and they're tied for fourth place.
And then you had one person
Venmi
said,
being one of them. 55 is a great time.
There's
though,
5. Yeah, there's 5.
Yeah, so in that maze room, there's crates on both ends that are guaranteed to drop power bombs. So it's really nice to refill on them, because Phazon Mines has a lot of items that require using power bombs to get to them. Even if you're using tricks to skip otherwise intended things like using Spider Ball, like we are for this item in this missile expansion that's coming up. But because you're laying so many, not only to traverse into the lower Phazon Mines, that was a nice charge shot, by the way. That's a good angle for those Metroids to be at. Okay, good.
It's so dark.
That looked a little sketchy. Yeah, you're supposed to like usually. You're supposed to have X-ray visors, see that there's like these invisible platforms, and just jump to them. You don't have to do that. And then there's a slope jump you can do to reach that door. That slope jump's actually required. That slope jump's actually required in any percent if you're skipping Spider Ball to reach this door here. That was nice. That was a pretty clean movement.
very nice.
Also, hitting that little like jump off the ramp with the boost ball is a huge time save.
Yeah, I can't do
A
it.
second.
I want to break some ankles again.
Hey.
No, you had to wait a little bit longer.
I don't want to. This next room takes a little while to load, so
Samus has osteoporosis.
I don't want to actually lose time.
Yeah.
That meme is dead. I'm
Plus,
so sorry.
having broken ankles is a big time loss.
So there's this element stuff in the game called Phazon. It's that blue stuff you see down there. The in-game explanation is that it's highly radioactive, but what it basically does is you start taking damage slowly, but then it exponentially just the amount of damage you take over time just exponentially goes up. So she's gonna do this trick called Early Newborn, the 100% way. Normally, the fastest strat to get this upcoming Chozo artifact is going out of bounds. It's hard because you can soft lock. This is inbounds and intended almost, except she doesn't have Phazon suit. So.
When I start, please give me
Yes.
some quiet time.
So now she has to make it out. Very nicely done.
Very nice.
And just with enough health, too. That's not too bad. There are some energy refills you can get off these Metroids, which I think she's going for. That's the most dangerous part of the run right there. Is just you need 11 energy tanks minimum, I believe. It might, actually, no, it might be as low as 9. I thought it was 11, but you know, thankfully we have 13. So in 100% doing that trick, you have a little bit of room to make mistakes. But you know, like having to wait a second because you missed you were too far away to hit one of those like rocks that was blocking the way.
This room is dark normally.
Yeah, it's the lower mines are very dark in general.
Yeah, their thought process was...
This room's a little dangerous too for beginners, just because there's these plasma paratroopers that do a bunch of damage. Whoa! That's mainly if you get stuck though, so that's one of the other items that requires super missiles for. I forgot to mention there was an item in the crashed frigate that you need supers for.
I'm just gonna play it safe.
Yeah, that's a good point. So normally you would just commit to Omega Pirate right away, but it's a marathon. Might as well play it safe.
Excuse me?
That pirate was having none of your.
That pirate didn't
He was
want me
having
going
none of it.
anywhere.
All right, so Venmi's going to stand right here, bait out the pirate to slash and move to the sort of that window over there. That way, when Venmi's waiting for the door to the sort of like barrier to open, she doesn't get just pelted with beam.
Another
fire.
thing with Omega Pirates is that if you stand just out of their view, they won't actually attack you.
Yeah.
They'll just spin around and look for you.
Yeah, their AI is
So,
amazing.
for some reason, the Omega Pirate follows this exact same thing.
Yeah. And you can powerbomb it at the right time.
Yeah, you can skip it
Nice.
calling in troopers. So,
Yeah, so
that was very nice.
So you can still save time with the animation skip, but having the troop skip is really nice. That's the most optimal way to get that. That's the most optimal trooper skip, basically, is actually skipping the troopers that come out to attack you. So this strat's a little different 100% because we have supers. So 2 missiles on a super there, and then the next 2 shots are going to be supers.
I almost forgot about the 2 missiles.
Yeah. So OP, as we call him, only has I think 600 health. He has very low health for a boss, which is why shooting him with supers like that kills him so quickly. So nice, that was nicely done. Not too risky. It's pretty good strat, and we have a ton of health too.
And if you're wondering how she knew where the Omega Pirate was going to be, is because you can actually manipulate which pool it stands in.
Yes.
So it won't spawn in the last pool it was in, and it also will spawn in the pool furthest from you.
Yeah. So
at the beginning of the cycle, she stood by the 2 pools so that it would spawn in the furthest pool.
Yes.
And then just stood by one so it would spawn in the other, and then just alternate.
It will never reappear in the same pool twice in a row.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, it always goes in the pool furthest away. So because we have Artifact of Newborn now, we don't have to backtrack. It saves about, what, 40 seconds? I don't know how much time it saves in
over
Hundo.
a minute in Hundo.
Oh, okay.
Saves a lot.
Yeah,
of
it's a
time.
little bit slower than 80%, but still much faster than having to backtrack.
Well, what's up with going fast?
Also,
Just enjoy the game.
Yeah. Don't pull a Patty, please.
What?
We're not. You completely just. So that's the last energy tank. All we have left are missile expansions and one more, technically 2 more Chozo artifacts. So this is one of the last missile expansions we have to collect still. And then I think Venmi shoots that crates to get hopefully a powerbomb drop. They have a pretty good chance of dropping there. I think you got one, but I'm not sure.
I didn't. I got one earlier.
After Omega Pirate, how many power bombs do you normally need?
5.
Oh, well, there you go. So, like in the control tower in the Pirate Labs in Phadrana, there's a cutscene trigger, and that's like, it's a big box, right? But it's just narrow enough where you can slip past it. You can jump over it and then slip to its side and not cause that elite pirate to spawn. He's very polite though, because he shatters shatters the glass, right?
Yeah, so even
and then
though-
when you leave, he just goes back inside, puts it back together.
He's a very clean man.
Yeah, so even though we already fought, or we already saw that cutscene once, because we didn't beat the Elite Pirate, it's still there.
Yeah. So the first time through, you want to have him appear because you want to jump off of him. And I think it repositions you too, so you save time in-game time. Also, shoutouts to not spiderless chefs.
But spiderless are so fun.
That's the best part of the run coming up.
Oh yeah, so
we're gonna kill
there's a
Calvin.
yellow pirate trooper called Calvin. He's very annoying in any percent
awful.
and low percent.
He's awful.
He's awful. So we're gonna send him a nice little greeting here.
Bye.
Now I have super missiles. Ho ho ho.
As you can see there, there's a wall there. You can actually boost through it on the other side.
Yeah, if you basically get stuck inside of it in the morph ball, and then just keep boosting, and you'll actually be building up speed, even though it doesn't look like you are. Not quite the sense of infinite speed, but to the point where you build up enough speed to just shoot through it. It's really cool.
Fun fact: this artifact can't be acquired until after you get the main power bomb. Where's the other?
You can have the power bomb expansions, but if you don't collect that power bomb that's in that maze, it just doesn't. He doesn't destroy the glass at all. Or the power bomb doesn't destroy the glass. It does nothing. So again, just abusing Elite Pirate AI here. As long as you're not standing directly in its field of view when it's done, like doing the turnaround animation, it'll always just keep looking for you instead.
Yeah, unfortunately, when they genetically engineered these guys, they forgot to touch the brain. Or give it a wide view.
I don't know what to say. I have nothing to say.
I don't have any comments.
Well, I mean, if you're going to genetically engineer something, you got to do it right.
So as you can see, we're doing this part of the game entirely backwards because of that infinite boost clip. We have plasma now, so we can do all Phazon Mines in one trip instead of two. So we don't have to backtrack anywhere, which is nice. But because Venmi lowered that force field in the first room, this room sucks. There's just if you come from the other way and just hit that spot, there's a trigger that activates these wave pirates. If you come to this room the intended way, for whatever reason, they won't appear until you actually kill the shadow pirates that are at the bottom level of this room. Also, best beam combo in the game, flamethrower.
No.
It's actually so good.
It's good against Exo power phase for some reason, if you're close enough. Very much required item for 100%, but...
Can you move?
So, Venmi has to avoid these space pirates first because that door won't lock unless you get close to it, and if you don't lock that door before all these space pirates die, it'll just lock when you approach it and you soft lock, so... Only dangerous when you... oh yeah, and then this cutscene activates again because she killed all the shadow pirates. This room is very, very...
weird.
It makes a lot of sense. So now she gets repositioned back to the top. Wave Buster here. Kills these wave pirates a lot faster than charged wave beam shots. But it wastes a lot of missile ammunition. Which isn't the biggest deal, because we're actually nearly done for run, actually. This run's been going pretty well, actually. I want to say nice job so far, Venmi.
Thanks.
Except for the reverse hard jump. I'm disappointed.
We have time for a quick donation?
Yeah.
All right, we have $20 from Mr. Kiltz. Says, good luck on the run, Venmi, and hello, Imslow.
Oh, no. Not Kilts. Thank you, Kilts.
Is he one of your regulars, or?
Yeah, he's one of my friends.
Oh, nice. Oh, is he from like the AZ like melee scene or something?
No, he's from like Utah.
Oh.
I don't know, what a weird place. No offense to any Utahnians or whatever you're called.
Oh my god. So we're done with Phazon Mines. We've cleaned up everything again. One trip Phazon Mines because we already have a power bomb. And plasma too. And X-ray, so. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to mention. For that Omega Pirate fight, you can only damage him with X-ray visor. So he's the only part of the entire game where X-ray is actually required to beat the game. You need Phazon suit in order to actually damage the final boss with the Phazon beam. So that's why X-ray visor is so important. It's useless otherwise. Well, except for it being 100%. It does actually speed up the final boss, though, with both thermal. So they do have a use. It's just throughout the course of the whole game, from a speedrun sense, their real like value is in the final part of the game. So we're taking a quick detour. We've grabbed just about every item in the game. I don't recall Venmi missing anything, so we'll find out in just a bit here.
I hope not.
Other than a yeehaw jump.
No.
Oh gosh.
Some people can't be changed.
I will always make sure to yeehaw jump in every marathon run.
I honestly forgot.
And grab grapple beam at 90%.
Grapple beam at 80%
Doesn't like
is
living circuitry like play with reverse y-axis and
I don't
echoes?
Doesn't Tiger Lily?
Oh, maybe. No, Tom
Or
Loop
not
does.
in-
Tom Loop does, I think.
Tom Loop does reverse beams.
Reverse beam. Oh yeah, that's weird.
What?
Yeah, you can map it so that the beams are with the D-pad instead of the C-stick, and then the visors are with the C-stick instead of the D-pad. It's weird. It doesn't look right. I guess it's like the southpaw like kind of method.
What?
Can we get a
Like-
bumper
like-
jumper?
What's a bumper? What's a
That's the Halo control scheme where
Oh.
you jump with the trigger.
bumper jump?
Yeah, bumper jumper.
Imagine bumper jumping in Prime.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if it gets ported to Switch, I mean, we'll probably see bumper jumping.
I mean, we already kind of do bumper jump. We use the bumpers when we jump.
That name is so silly. It sounds right.
Rubber
Sounds
baby buggy
great.
bumper jumpers.
I'm making less and less sense.
It's because this run's ending soon.
Yeah. It's been a
Yeah,
fun ride, though.
We're out of content.
It's been a fun adventure.
Bad
Okay,
content.
so here's the moment of truth. Venmi should have 250 missiles.
If not, we're gonna throw a fit.
Yeah. If not, then we're gonna have to switch the overlay to 99%. Sorry, 98%. And I think we have 250. So, yay! We did it.
We.
And 8 power bombs, which is
Also,
important.
because this game's so great, we got one more like random unskippable cutscene. This is removed in randomizer. It feels so good. It's just
Oh,
boost
it's
all
awesome.
the way through.
It's awesome.
Again, you're not losing in game time though. Although, like, I guess kind of in a way you would, because you get on morphed. But are you gonna write something on the wall?
draw loss.
No. No.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Ah.
I thought she was gonna write DF.
Direct relief.
Direct
Yeah.
relief, DR.
Yeah,
Oh,
shout
alright.
out to Direct Relief. They're a great cause. We got a lot of cool donation incentives for you guys here, and I mean, really, like, they've done a lot of work here, both in SoCal and worldwide. They've done some really good job. Also, 100% pickups.
All right, I'll explain this, boss. So what I'm going to be doing is a couple of charge shots on Ridley, and then the goal is to actually hit Ridley on one particular frame.
Oh, just a bit early.
It was a little bit early.
That was a good backup, though. So, yeah, so Ridley has almost no health now.
That's because of Boost Ball. Boost
Yes,
Ball, for some
Boost Ball is
reason,
the
deals
most powerful-
50,000 damage per frame.
Most powerful weapon in the whole game, and Ridley, for some reason, is vulnerable to it.
Just to give you an idea, Boost Ball dealing 50,000 damage per frame, Missile deals 30 damage.
And Ridley has 2,600 health, but unfortunately, only the air phase of Ridley's is vulnerable. If his ground phase was, then he would basically die. So can't be too broken here, but it is. That's one of the main reasons in 8% why we get Boost Ball is to speed up this fight up drastically. The air phase is very annoying. It takes a while. He does like these guerrilla tactics on you.
Ooh,
Also
invincible
with-
Ridley.
Yeah, with bad timing, trying to get him knocked back. For some reason, his hitbox will just not appear.
That shot is actually hard to hit.
It's actually bad luck to have him do this like charge attack. It's more likely, I think, to do his other moves instead. But that's okay. So airphase sucks, right? He's constantly like moving in and out of the arena. You can't really hit him when he's flying around. So Boost Ball's nice in that it just skips that. And then the ground phase has just a. You can manipulate him or just kind of work with the fight in a way where he just dies quickly. So this fight is so fast.
Do we have a donation before we get into Exoskip?
We do have a donation. We have $20 from Not Halvard Nystrom. The TP Speed made a deal with me that if he held a dab for a whole minute during Metroid Prime, I would donate $20. If you look
Was he on
back,
camera?
if you look back at 48 minutes into the run, he dabs for a full minute.
I have no words.
Wait, what? I'm gonna need to go back and look at that.
I'm so excited to watch
this
this
is what
tonight.
this is what the artifacts are for. The Ridley fight is what controls getting into the impact crater, last level in the game. Yeah, good idea to safety save. Don't really need it except for exo skip. But,
Yeah, so this next...
Oh, we're going to do exo skip.
This next
great.
trick actually has never been done in a live tournament before. Or not tournament.
Tournament.
Hey, man.
Yeah, we got Mango here and Armada.
All right, let me explain what's going on with this trick. So there is a hole, a tiny hole in the next room called Crater Tunnel B. And what I need to do is get a Metroid in there. And what that Metroid's going to do is push me out of bounds. I have to destroy these two because for some reason the original Metroid in the room,
They follow a certain path, right?
yeah, they'll follow a certain path, and so they'll just fly into a corner no matter what. And
Yeah, we've known this skip could be possible if we had a way to get out of bounds. And then just out of nowhere, this guy Vertigo, really cool glitch hunter now for Prime, just shows up and is like, hey, I have this on video and I figured out how it works.
yeah, so I'm waiting here for a Metroid to come over. There's a
Thank you so much for donating
rare
to this, by the way.
chance. There's a rare chance they get stuck. But thankfully
Actually,
they didn't.
I have two thanks to give. One for allowing Exo Skip to happen, and one for not allowing Fusion Suit to happen.
Yeah, that's big, because this actually would have failed with Fusion Suit because of the hitbox difference.
So, all right, sorry, Venmi.
Alright. So I'm just trying to get the Metroid in a proper position. The height of the Metroid really matters here. And so I'm just going to get underneath the Metroid and try to pop myself out of bounds. It's a weird spot. Oh, that was...
Echoes almost, it's weird.
I thought that would have made it.
Nice, that was
There
really
we
good.
go. Yeah.
Oh,
that's
you got,
actually-
and you got the BSJ too.
Yeah, I didn't land on the door, though. You can land on the door.
Yeah, falling down. The worst case scenario is you fall down all the way to the bottom of the room and you lose a couple of seconds. But yeah, so this wall crawl we did not know was possible. Besides like for theory crafting that Hazel did, it was like kind of theorized that you could use infinite speed in Crater Tunnel B, I think, to like sort of unload the current room surrounding you. But then Vertigo just found the Metroid clip and turns out like, yeah, there's a hole and you can just click through it. So this was found in, I think, February of last year. So this is actually a pretty recent discovery. No one has PB'd yet with this trick. Venmi is probably the most likely to get a new personal best using Exo Skip. She has practiced the absolute like heck out of this trick.
Yeah, it's honestly incredible.
It's incredible.
Because when it was first found...
It saves a lot of time over the fight.
Yeah,
when
well,
done
in any percent it does, and 21% it saves like 10 minutes.
I'm going to be quiet real quick because it's actually possible to lose the out of bounds here.
Yeah.
I don't like this at all.
The room's dark too.
Yeah, I don't. That's the part I like the least.
Will thermal help at all, or? Oh God.
Not really.
Now everything's the
X-ray?
same color.
Wow. I don't know how close you were to going back in bounds.
It's not that it was. Okay.
Nice. So she just transitioned into the first subchamber. So even though there's like no doors, there's actually transition triggers to basically make the game change where the active room is. So the most dangerous part of the wall crawl is over, I believe.
Yeah,
it's possible. Oh, sorry.
There is a. Oh my goodness, what is going on here?
Yeah, there's two cutscene triggers that you can hit from out of bounds, and one puts you back in bounds into the fight, so you lose exo skip and basically the run. If you're trying to PB with it, you lose your time save.
You soft lock.
And then the other one is you soft lock because it puts you in the first subchamber.
Puts you right in there.
Yeah, one starts the boss fight, which she skipped much earlier, And then the first one, that's the easier one to skip. The second one is the actual dangerous part. But yeah, so it turns out that the cutscene trigger to go into the essence fight, it's always active when the room's loaded, and so we can just hit it from out of bounds. It just so happens you can't hit it inbounds, but
Which would be
which would be so sick, right? But
isn't a UBJ or something.
yeah, so this is the last sub chamber here. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
This is so cool to watch. Yeah, everyone, thank you so much again, everyone, for making this incident happen.
And
that's
the first time it's ever been done in a marathon.
Live marathon, yeah.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
That was so nice.
Yeah, the only
By the way,
issue,
the music is still there.
I never knew that. Okay, so this is Essence. This fight can be very fast when done right. I don't know if you want me to talk about it or if you want to talk about it, Venmi.
Go talk about it.
Okay,
Fine.
so comes from the dark. Anyway, so she's waiting for Essence here to spawn a Phazon pool. This is what we need Phazon suit for, is to basically use the Phazon beam. The pools have a certain number of ammunition, and they disappear after, I think, 25 seconds. She's going to stand in a particular spot to make Essence position in just the right spot. She wants Essence as far away from that exoskeleton corpse as possible. Yeah, there is a visible trigger that if Essence is in it, and it's at the point where it's gone through all of its actions before it lays another pool, it'll instead not lay the pool and just go straight to the other visor. So then you have to wait for it to lay a pool like it is here.
What she's doing right now is called attack canceling.
Yes.
So when you shoot Metroid, or when you shoot Essence with the Hyper Beam, which is actually the reason you need Phazon suit.
Yes. It immediately goes into its next animation, but then you can just immediately shoot it again when it starts its next move. I think it has anywhere from like 13 to 16 actions it can perform, whether it's like moving around, roaring at you, releasing it's like one and only shockwave attack.
Yeah.
So you can quickly just kind of stun lock it and go through all of its like attack animations. Now this pool here is the last one. She's doing a thing called pool canceling, where when she shoots the Phazon beam as she leaves the pool, she doesn't use any ammunition at all, and you can kill the Essence here.
Time.
Time. Sorry, but forgot about time.
Just under 2 hours,
Wow,
so it's
nice
a real
job. That was
speed
really
run.
good.
Let's go, Miguel.
So with that third pool, she goes in and out of the pool and holds down A to basically fire exactly one Phazon shot as she's outside the pool. It doesn't drain the pool of ammunition. So she had a pretty optimal 3 pool where she didn't need to pool cancel too many times. I think minimum you only need to do, I think, 6 pool cancels. And then she has enough ammo where from the attack cancel, she could just kill Essence in the final pool.
Yeah, there's just some times where Essence is just mean, and she can be terrible.
Yeah. So if Essence is... I didn't know the music still plays.
The developers prevent... Yeah, the music still plays. But anyway, the developers basically prevented Essence from having the pool spawn out of bounds by just having her not spawn a pool at all and going into a new phase.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Awful.
Yeah, so like with both Exo skip and Essence. Now, Exo is a really interesting boss fight, which unfortunately we now skip because it's now faster. I mean, the skip itself is also it's a harder challenge of its own, right? But it's such a cool walk around to see. So nice job, even with the having to wait for a couple of tries for that clip. Like that's awesome. That clip is like the most inconsistent part. Well, I would say inconsistent, just the most annoying part of that wall crawl.
I'm just glad there's nothing tragic.
Yeah. Nice run though, 156.13. Normally we wait about like, do we have time to wait like 30 or
30 more
45 seconds? She's gonna skip the credits real quick, which you can in this game. All right, we're good. So
do we have a
so
donation while we wait?
So as was mentioned before, there's in-game time, and basically we have to wait through these credits. I could just
in Echoes you're waiting 8 minutes to go to the.
I can just do that.
Yeah, if you type fixed credits, I mean it's FFZ, so it's not gonna appear, but
Type
best emote.
fixed credits in chat.
Yeah, so we can skip the credits on the GameCube versions, not the. I don't know if it's PAL or JP. Definitely not on Wii.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they fixed the credits.
NTSC is the best.
Yeah. So again, in-game time. In-game time is per minute. It actually tracks down to the millisecond, but for some reason, Retro is like, yeah, you get an hour and a minute displayed. So.
Yeah, actually to the frame.
156. This is like a 120 range, maybe. Oh wow, nice.
Ouch. Yeah, 129. All right.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I enjoyed it.
It's been a ride. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Nice job, Venmi.
Thanks.
Yeah, nice run.
Shoutouts to DF.
Shoutouts to Cody7737.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot. There's I forgot. There's like the whole like. If you're interested in joining Metroid Prime, so I'm gonna quick spiel. Sorry. The website's not up yet, but www.metroidprime.run. It's a website I'm working on to be a new resource for tricks, routing, more. You can go to discord.me/Metroid Prime if you want to join the speedrunning Discord. This is a really cool run to learn. It's actually a lot more beginner friendly than it looks, both for 100% and for any percent. Lots of really cool tricks that have a little bit of a learning curve, but are not too difficult to master. We got some really cool people in the Discord. Speedrun.com/MP also has resources. Shoutouts to a Big F and Eagles movement guide on like dashing, R jumping, L jumping, morph ball tricks, and more. Shoutouts to Zlo for being awesome. Shoutouts to Remy for his any percent beginner route. I think you also have a 100% beginner route, correct, Remy?
I think so.
I think so.
I don't remember.
Someone's done it. And then also shoutouts to East for these really cool like tutorial videos on certain tricks, like the slope R jump to plasma processing. So just wanted to give those shoutouts real quick. So there you go. If you want to speedrun the game, we've got your info. So thank you guys.
Yeah. When it comes to doing exo skip in a live marathon run, literally consider it done.
I'm done. Thanks, guys.